Take a look at that texture. Dense, creamy, flawless. One bite and you'll see why it disappears so fast. Every perfect cheesecake starts with a proper base. We send crisp cookies into the food processor and grind them into fine crumbs, no lumps, no uneven bits. This way the crust won't fall apart on the plate and won't overpower the filling. Think of it as the foundation of a house. Solid, yet invisible. Soon, we'll add melted butter so every crumb soaks up rich flavor. The crust will become pliable and settle perfectly into the pan. This is how you start a cheesecake that slices as smooth as butter. Butter brings every crumb together into one smooth mass. We pour it in and mix until the texture feels like wet sand. That's exactly what we want. Easy to shape, firm after baking, and clean when you slice it. Be careful not to overdo the butter or the base will soften too much. Just a few minutes of mixing and you have the ideal material for a crust that will hold its shape under a creamy, velvety filling. Time to build the base. Spread the crumbs evenly across the pan and press them down with a glass. The tighter the layer, the cleaner every slice will look. This is like pouring concrete. No gaps, no bumps, just a perfectly even surface. The glass gives you a smooth finish, no craters or hills. After baking, this crust won't crumble apart and will hold the filling just right. And honestly, there's something satisfying about feeling those crumbs compressed into a solid crust under your hand, like you're crafting something built to last. Now let's raise the edges. They'll frame the cheesecake like a border frames a painting. Add crumbs along the sides and press them evenly, whether with your fingers or that trusty glass. Make sure the thickness is consistent so nothing falls apart later. A few minutes of patience and the sides look just as flawless as the base. Then we pop the pan into the freezer. The cold will lock the crust in place, ready to hold our luscious cream filling without budging. The filling begins with cream cheese and powdered sugar. Drop them into the bowl and start mixing. At first, the mixture feels stiff and stubborn, but don't rush it. The sugar melts quickly and the texture turns silky. It's like watching pebbles transform into cream right under your spoon. The trick is to keep it cool so the cheese stays firm and smooth. In just a couple of minutes, you'll have a velvety base with no lumps, no excess air, ready for the ingredients that will make it rich, balanced, and irresistibly smooth. Next comes sour cream. The richer, the better. It gives the feeling that luxurious, velvety, finished classic New York cheesecake is famous for. The mixture softens, smooths out, and feels like it's preparing to welcome the flavors still to come. We add the eggs one at a time. No rush. If you dump them all in at once, the butter loses its smoothness. Stir gently to avoid whipping in air. That way, the cheesecake bakes dense and silky without bubbles. Slow and steady here pays off in a flawless, custardy texture later. Now for flavor and balance. Vanilla adds warmth, starch keeps the filling stable, and lemon juice brightens everything with a subtle tang. Mixed together, these simple ingredients turn the batter into a perfect symphony. The key is to blend thoroughly, so no note stands out too sharply. A great cheesecake should taste like an orchestra, all parts in harmony. Nothing screaming louder than the rest. We take the chilled crust from the freezer and pour in our cream filling. It flows in like liquid silk. Smooth the top to remove bubbles. And here's the secret to a perfect bake. Place a pan of water on the lowest rack of the oven. The steam keeps the temperature gentle and even like giving the cheesecake a warm spa. Bake it slowly with no sudden burst of heat. This method guarantees a dense but creamy center and flawless edges with no cracks. When it cools, it will look just as perfect as any display case cheesecake from a high-end bakery, but you made it right in your own kitchen. When your knife glides through cheesecake like butter, you know you nailed it. The crust stays firm, the filling stays silky, and every slice holds its shape with not a single crack in sight. Finally, the best part tasting. Creamy richness, a touch of lemon, the warmth of vanilla, everything perfectly balanced. This cheesecake is so tender, each bite just melts in your mouth. It's the kind of dessert chefs love to serve and guests can't stop talking about because it combines foolproof technique with a taste of true New York style perfection. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, there's plenty more deliciousness ahead.